All right, this is part 2 of multiplying polynomials. Now we're going to do binomial and binomial and binomial polynomial, or trinomial, excuse me, multiplication. So binomial times a binomial, and then a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. We might even do a binomial times a polynomial. So here's our first example. We have 2x plus 3 times 4x plus 5. And all we're going to do is use the distributive property. This is easy. Okay, so you've been distributing, just continue to do what you've been doing with distribution. And here the problem is we copy 2x plus 3 multiplied by 4x plus 5. And we're going to share, distribute the givings to share. And what are we sharing first? We're going to share this 2x with the 4x. Every 2x is going to be shared with every term that's in the parentheses, everything. So 2x times 4x is going to be here. So there's your 2x times 4x. And then this 2x needs to be shared with the 5. So it's going to be plus 2x times 5 right there. And now this 2x, the question is, has 2x been shared or distributed to everything in the second parentheses? And it has. There's a 2x plus 5 in the second term. Now we look at the next term, which is here plus. Now this 3 has to be distributed or shared to everything in that parenthesis, second parenthesis. So the 3 times the 4x, so plus 3 times 4x is here. And this 3 has to be shared also with the 5. So plus 3 times 5, which is there. Now I can just simplify this here. And then this is going to be 2x times 4x is 8x squared. Remember, we're multiplying with the same base, so we're going to add their exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2x times 5 is 10x. Plus 3 times 4x is going to be 12x. Plus 3 times 5, which is the 15. Now we check to make sure we have all the like terms combined. And it appears that I don't. 10x and 12x should be combined or simplified. 8x squared doesn't have a like term, so it's just going to remain the same as 8x squared plus 22x plus 15. And this is our final answer. It's in order, descending order from the highest exponent of x to the lowest. Okay? So that will be example number 1. Let's look at example number 2. Example 2, we have x minus 4 times 3x plus 2. We use a distributive property. And remember, distribute means we need to share. So we're going to take this x and multiply by everything in the second parenthesis. So x times the 3x, and then the x times the 2. So here we are. I'm going to erase that when it's down here. And I have x times 3x, which will be x times 3x, which is there. And then I have to share this x with the 2. So that's going to be plus x times 2. And then I have to do the minus 4. This minus 4 needs to come here. So that's going to be minus, right there, minus 4 times 3x. And then minus, again, minus is there. There's a minus sign there. Okay, minus is there, 4 times 2. And there's my 4 times 2. Minus 4 times 2. All right, so now we go ahead and simplify. X times 3x is going to be 3x squared. Remember, adding the exponents. Because we're multiplying the same base, we add their exponents. So it would be 3x squared plus x times 2 is 2x. Minus is brought down. 4 times 3x is minus 12x. Minus 8. We look to make sure we have everything, all terms combined. All like terms have been combined. And when we do that, we have 2x and then a minus 12x, which should be a minus 10x. So this will be a 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. And this is our final answer. Let's look at example number 3. Example 3, I made this a little more difficult, but it's the same rule. We're multiplying a binomial times a trinomial. You still have to use the distributive property. This 6r has to be shared with everything in this second polynomial or trinomial. It needs to be shared there, there, and there. Okay? Same thing with the -4. -4 has to be shared here, here, and there. It needs to be shared with everything that you see. So here we are. Alright, so the first one, 6r times 3r squared is here. So 6r times 3r squared. And then I see a minus, and positive times negative will be a minus 6r times a 2r, which is there. And then I have plus 6r times 8. And then I'm share the 6r with everything in this second term, so I'm done with the 6r. Now I need to go ahead and share this -4 to the 3r squared. So there's my minus sign is here. And then 4 times 3r squared is there. 4 times 3r squared. And then I just share the -4 to the -2r. Negative times negative should be a plus, or you could have done it as minus here. A -4 times a -2r, which would still be a plus. And then the -4 times the 8, which would be here. So we can simplify. 6r times 3r squared is an 18r cubed. We're adding exponents because we're multiplying the same base. Minus 6r times 2r is a 12r squared. Plus 6 times 8 is going to be a 48r. Minus 4 times 3r squared is a minus 12r squared. And then minus a negative 8r is going to be plus a positive. And then this is going to be minus 4 times 8 is going to be our 32. And then we look to see what can we combine as a lie. I look for a cubed. Anything else cubed? No. So that's going to just be brought down. 18r cubed. And then minus 12r squared. Ooh, minus 12r squared is here. These two are alike. Then I see a 48r. And then I see an 8r. Those should be combined. And then the 32 in the back doesn't have anything it can be combined with. So let's start with the minus 12r and then the minus r. Minus and minus is going to be a negative 24r squared. 48 plus 8 is going to be 56, so that's plus 56r. And then we have, and I usually start, once I start getting a lot of terms on here, I start canceling what I use. I've used the 18r cubed. I've done the minus 12r squared and the minus 12r squared. I've added the 48r and the 8r because then it gets a little jumbled. When I start canceling, I can see what's left. And then the plus 32, you can see in the back, is still left. And this is our final answer. And that's how you multiply polynomials.